Hello world, or rather, hello HTML. In this session, we are going to talk about HTML. We are going to look at what it means, and then we will look at the general HTML structure. We will end there. The next lecture, we will start looking at tags and elements. Okay, so let's get started. Um, what is HTML? Well, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. We learned earlier on that um, documents that are presented on a web page, all right, are formatted with a hypertext markup language or HTML. And so this is a standard markup language for document designed to be displayed in the web browser, right? So remember when we made the get request to the server. Alright, the server replied with HTML file that got displayed in a web browser for us. Now, HTML is not considered a programming language. Okay, it is not considered a programming language because it doesn't have the ability to create dynamic functionality like PHP or JavaScript. HTML is just used for static markup. Alright, so it is not a programming language, and please, this is very sensitive in the world of programming. Do not, I repeat, do not go out there and when they say give examples of programming languages, you mention HTML. In fact, you'll be shot on sight. Now that's a joke, but it's pretty serious. Programmers tend to be very sentimental about these things. So HTML is not a programming language; it's a markup language. Please let this stick in your head. We good? Okay, let's move on. So versions of HTML. Now since its insertion back at the Sen Labs, there has been there have been various improvements, and so improvement brings about versioning, right? In 1995 we have 2.0, all right, coming out. 1997 HTML 3.2. In 1999 we have HTML 4.01. In 2000 we have XHTML, which is extensible hypertext markup language, and then in 2014 and beyond we have HTML5. Now someone would say, where is HTML 1.0? Well, HTML 1.0 was kind of experimental at the time during the Sen lab days when Satin Berners-Lee was still there. HTML at that time was not really published to um, the world. Um, so the very first official version that was published is 2.0. That's why in our chat we start delivering from 2.0. But there was HTML 1. It wasn't an official version at the time. So HTML5 is the latest version. Everything that we'll be learning will be based on HTML5. We won't be going back to look at XHTML. These are still there. There are resources on the internet um, about these things. So if you are interested, you are free to Google, go to html.com and other places. You will get a lot of information on that. But for the purposes of this class, we will be focusing on HTML5. All right, so let's look at the structure of the HTML document. All right. Now, the structure is normally in this format. We have four distinct parts. The first part is the document type declaration, all right, the TDT. Okay, we have the main container, the head section, and then the body section, which is the last one. So let me explain. See the diagram on the right, this particular one. We have the document type, all right, in the right, sorry, a red rectangle, right? You realize that it is on its own at the top. What does it mean? Well, when you come to the literature here, it says inserted at the beginning of the document using this particular tag. Okay, it's a useful measure to inform browsers what type and version of document to render. Yes, we just spoke about different versions of HTML. So it is very important that when you are creating an HTML document, you specify the type so that the browser will know how to adjust its rendering mode or mechanism in order to display the information appropriately as you would like it to be displayed. All right, the next part, all right, is the main container or the HTML element. Um, so this is a place where the whole document, except the document type declaration, will fall into. It's inserted using this. Now, if you look at the green uh, square or rectangle, right? This is that. So you have the HTML here, and then you have another HTML. In our next lecture, we will look at what these things mean. Okay, but for now, you can just look at them as a form of notation. Okay, now because it says the whole document, okay, will fall in there. What it means that anything that comes after the HTML element is actually goes inside the HTML. So you have the head, which is in the blue rectangle, right? Inside the green, okay. So that means the head is a child of HTML, right? And then you have the body section also, which is this orange container, also inside the HTML. So essentially, it is safe to say that the HTML container has two major children. These children are the head and then the body. Okay. Now, what is the head? So it's just a container for metadata about the document. All right. And it has several categories. Categories. One of them is title. All right. So you want a title for your web page so that when people view your web page in their browser, in that particular tab, they have the name of the site, so you can say this is our first web page. Okay, it will be displayed later. Style declaration. This talks about aesthetic features like how you want, like color definition, font, general formatting styles of the doc. You can put that also in the head. Client-side script, we will look at that later on. Um, okay, so the head is inserted using the, this head element, and we'll talk about it in our next lecture. What about the body? It is the container for renderable content. What this means is that anything that you see on a web page is actually in the body. Okay. Now, don't get confused about the head and the body. The head, you can specify a lot of things in it, but the only thing that gets displayed is the title. However, the title is not on the actual web page. It is in the browsers tab. Okay, it is in the browsers tab, and I will show you in the next lecture. I will show you what that means. Okay, and so the images, videos that you see, music that you download, uh, text that you read, everything, all that is specified in the body. So to recap this session, we looked at HTML. We said um, hypertext markup for formatting documents, right? It's not a programming language, and we know why. We looked at the versions, and then we are here talking about the document structure. So we have the document type declaration, which is on top, and it is alone on its own. It's supposed to be the first thing in any HTML document. Right? We will look at how to define the document type for HTML5 in our next lecture. Okay. Uh, so the next um, part, all right, is the HTML or the main container, HTML element that has two children, the head and then the body. The head is what? It contains metadata about the web page or the document, and the body actually contains the renderable content. Okay, so this is where we end for now. Hopefully, I will see you in the next lecture where we talk about tags and elements. Thank you.